Good morning, Palo Alto College family. This is Robert Garza, president of Palo Alto College, here remotely, going to talk about our Celebrate and Share, which is our Enology and Viticulture program. So we're excited to talk about one of the newest programs of the Palo Alto College. But before we begin with that, I'd like to really thank and appreciate all the work that public safety and facilities and our IT departments have been doing to really work to get the infrastructure in so that we can continue teaching and learning. Also very thankful for the faculty that have been coming in and working on their labs to make sure that their students are getting the education and the support that they need. Shout out to our advisors and our tutors who are contacting our students every single day. But more importantly, thank you to the Palo Alto College family that's really coming together during these unprecedented times to really move us forward and help our students and our community receive the education that they deserve. And so without further ado, let's highlight this newest program, Enology and Viticulture, and let's start with the KSAT news story.
It is no secret that the Texas wine industry has exploded over the years. It generates nearly $13.1 billion. Now one local college is getting into that game. Tiffany Huertas with a new program at Palo Alto that they're offering and how this could impact our own region.
I'm fascinated with growing and propagating grapes.
Palo Alto College sophomore Sloan Martin's interest in the wine industry is rooted in her family history.
They were Swiss German and they came down to Arkansas and they brought an actual original vine with them, and it's still at my grandparents' house.
She's one of the first students in the college's new Viticulture and Enology program. Students will be learning how to make wine and much more.
They're going to be learning on how to grow grapes, how to propagate them, how to properly manage them, treat them, how to find disease.
LeBay says students will also get hands-on experience. Next to the school's community garden, the school will eventually build a vineyard.
You'll learn probably quite a bit about grapes.
College leaders saw this industry growing and wanted to get their students involved.
They knew that there was going to be a demand for labor, skilled workers that actually knew how to treat those vines.
One of the program partners is the Bending Branch Winery, located in Comfort.
It's really going to serve a need for our industry. We need more skilled labor in our industry.
This winery was established in 2009.
There are still a lot of people in Texas that don't know that we make wine in Texas, and we're the #5 wine producing state in the country.
McKinnis says they started with just a couple of thousand cases, and now they're producing about 20,000 cases a year. She says there are a number of job opportunities.
There's winemakers, assistant winemakers, enologists who are really the quality control in the winery. Then there's also vineyard management, vineyard labor to actually manage a vineyard, to prune, to plant, to harvest.
With so many opportunities ahead, Sloan is looking forward to the new program.
I was just ecstatic because I really always interested in that, and so when they told me they were going to start it, I was like, I have to enroll.
LeBay has a lot of ideas for this new program, including hosting workshops for the community and even creating their own wine named Palo Vino, but it's still years away.
Good morning, everybody. We're here to talk about our Viticulture and Enology degree program, which is housed within our horticultural sciences offerings, which is underneath our PTE division. Before we begin our presentation, we're going to go ahead and describe some definitions for you all so that we all know what viticulture and enology are. Viticulture is the study of grapevine growing and grape harvesting, and enology is the study of wine making and the fermentation process that is needed in order to produce wines. Viticulture and enology are important in Texas because it is a growing industry. Just in 2017, we saw $13 billion in total economic activity just in our state. There were 104,000 full-time jobs, which meant wages in about $4 billion. People from all over the world are attracted to the beauty of the Texas Hill Country with wineries located within it. And those tourists will spend about $760 million a year just in our Texas Hill Country region. At the moment, we have about 500 wineries, and that number is growing every year as more and more vineyards and wineries register permits with TABC. So a little bit about our program here at Palo Alto College. It is an Associates of Applied Science. It is a 2-year program that should take about 60 credit hours of classroom, lab, and experiential learning. These labs can be within our labs on campus or out in the vineyards. We have courses that include principles of viticulture, principles in enology, so we're learning how to do fermentation processes in those classes, wine regions of the world, because we don't just teach about Texas wines, we teach about all wines, grapevine biology, because understanding the inner workings of how vines grow is crucial to making sure that the end product is a high quality. We also have our general horticulture classes, which include irrigation, pest and pesticides, soil fertility, and other hands-on experiences such as working with a skid steer, a tractor on campus, doing actual installations of irrigation systems. All of these works towards our goal to have our students graduate with marketable skills which make them ready to work in this growing industry. Having a new program at Palo Alto College in Viticulture and Enology requires that we have the support of our industry partners and our advisory committee members. Some of these partnerships are with local wineries within the Hill Country region, but we are also reaching out to wineries as far as North Texas, the Panhandle, West Texas, East Texas, and even the Gulf Coast region. We have advisory committee members that help support our program and guide us in the right direction. Some of those advisory committee members come from Texas AgriLife Extension Agency, the Master Gardeners of Bexar County, the Texas Hill Country Association, the Texas Wine and Grape Growers Association, and wine regions from all over Texas. We have other members that also stem from local breweries, San Antonio Botanical Gardens, and others.
Okay, so this program that we're offering here at Palo Alto College, students will have the opportunity to find the future jobs on the viticulture end. They will be able to find jobs such as vineyard skill labor, vineyard leader, eventually work their way up to vineyard manager, and also the possibility of doing vineyard consulting. On the enology end, they can find jobs as cellar workers, assistant winemakers, and with years of experience become winemakers. They can also have jobs on the enology end in working in wine control rooms, or what is similar as to wine tasting rooms. There is a lot of opportunities for this program to grow here at Palo Alto College. We're looking to expanding our enology education, and this includes the possibility of hiring an enologist for our students to have hands-on with an expert enologist. We are also looking at the biggest opportunity and the best opportunity of them all is to have our vineyard on our campus. It's a great way for students to get more hands-on activities without having to do for traveling to neighborhood vineyards. And also we are looking to have our enology lab. Hopefully we can have this enology lab for our students to be able to be introduced to different types of equipment and be able to have a designated room where they can make the wine and experiment with wines prior to going out into the field of enology. And also opportunities to continue to do some hands-on activities with our industry partners. Us having a vineyard on campus will be great, but also us having a vineyard on campus means that we would only concentrate on a certain specific end of vineyard construction, and that is vineyard trellising. There is so many vineyard trellises available out there that vary from vineyard to vineyard, and by them being able to go to those industry partners, they will be experienced to other vineyards trellises and other aspects of the vineyard work that we will not have available on our campus. Now it's everything that we're trying to do. This is a brand new program. It just started this semester, the spring of 2020, and we're having to do what most of you guys are doing already as well, which is adapting to remote learning. Our students got to experience some activities prior to switching to remote learning, and that was great. They got to do some work on the greenhouses, and we even got to visit a vineyard. And I am thankful that we got to do that part, because it would be hard to do that hands-on via remote learning. But nonetheless, we're still trying to make this happen. There's a lot of hands-on activities that needs to happen, and this is where we're adapting into it, and we're trying to do our virtual labs. We started our project at the beginning of the semester that included a propagation of our grapevines, and their students were very excited about it. They were very excited to continue with it and see their baby plants grow to the end of the semester. So we didn't abandon that project just because we're not on campus. What we decided to do is I brought the cuttings home, and I continue the babying out those plants for them, and they just get those updates, and they get to see their babies via virtual labs that we do through Zoom. We have other hands-on activities that are scheduled for through the end of our semester, and I will have those available via virtual demonstrations for them. So it is a way that we're trying to adapt. It's definitely not the same as them doing it themselves, but it is a good way for us to continue that hands-on activities going on for them. I guess the only thing I can say from my end, the one thing that makes it easier is having my personal vineyard at home. It has come in very, very handy for us, for me to be able to take my camera outside and be able to virtually tell them what I was intended to show them in person at one point. And the students have been great on adapting with me on remote learning as well. And just like most of the students right now that are doing a fabulous job in adapting to remote learning, just as instructors are adapting to this new way. And now we'll hear from a couple of our students in our Viticulture and Enology program, Sloan and Lloyd.
Hi, my name is Sloan Martin. I'm a student of Mrs. LeBay's in her Viticulture and Enology class. I was interested in this class because of my family history. My family has been in the wine industry. My ancestors have for past generations. My granddad has still got one of our original vines from my ancestors that came over from Swiss Germany. It's still growing strong today in Arkansas. I visit it every time I go back home. I see it, and I just love it because it's still growing strong. But that has definitely piqued my interest in these classes. The reason I took these classes is because I want to continue that legacy with my my family's history and see if that I've got the same green thumb that they did with grapes. And so I definitely signed up for these classes, and it has exceeded my expectations of a viticulture and enology class. Mrs. LeBay is wonderful. She can answer any question that you've ever had, and with a smile on her face. She's the most amazing person. Every time that I have come into class, I have learned something new, and I have just enjoyed the class immensely. Even with our project of starting our own cuttings from vines, we even from remote learning, we have kept track of them and how they've grown, and how when we started them in person, how they are growing vigorously at her house. It's amazing to see that they can our little cuttings grow. But this class is amazing. It really has opened a new door for me, I think, with this, with my future in viticulture. I am really excited to see where it takes me, and I can't wait to take more classes.
I'm also a student of Mrs. LeBay. It's been a pleasure to be in this class. I've learned a lot. First and foremost, I'd like to thank all the faculty and staff for all the hard work you guys are doing, especially in this time that's really trying for all of us to transition from learning in face-to-face to going online. I know it's a challenge. It's been difficult for everyone, but I think it's more difficult for the faculty and staff to do this, more so than the students. A little bit about my background. I'm a retired veteran, did 25 years in the military, traveling the world. I got to see a lot of vineyards throughout the world, which piqued my interest in this course. After I retired, for the past 8 years, I've been doing as a purchasing agent for commercial maintenance, repair, and overhaul of commercial engines. So this opportunity came up for not only to get a degree, but to learn a lot. And I left the corporate world for this. and do not regret it one bit. We've had a great time. Even in having to do online learning, we've learned a lot, more so than I thought we would be able to learn online. And I do thank you, Mrs. Labai, and also Ms. Flores, for your guys' opportunity for us to take this. I myself live in New Braunfels and drive all the way from New Braunfels to PAC for this course. And I do not hesitate to take this again if I ever had the opportunity to continue my education on this. So once again, thank you for your support and help in learning how to be a viticulturist and enologist. Thank you so very much. One more comment I would like to say is I recommend this course to any and all people out there. It's exciting. You learn a lot. And also a stab out to the veterans and military personnel. This is covered under the GI Bill. So it can assist you on paying for tuition and stipend. So please look into this, come to Palo Alto and join us and become a viticulturist and enologist. You will enjoy this course.